Hello there, Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with the UFC's number 5 ranked bantamweight, Jimmie Rivera, as he is headed to UFC on Fox 25 in Long Island, New York, to take on the number 9 ranked Thomas Almeida. So let's give Jimmy a call and find out what he's been up to since his fight with Bryan Caraway was canceled, find out what he has in store for Thomas Almeida, and maybe his thoughts on the top of the 135 division. Jimmie Rivera, thank you so much for taking out the time. You are the number 5 bantamweight in the entire world. You're 20-1 in your MMA journey, 4-0 in the UFC, getting somewhat of a home game at UFC on Fox 25 in Long Island, New York, not too far from where you are now. And you're taking on the number 9 guy in the world, Thomas Almeida. How are things?
Things are great. I mean, training camp's going great, and just getting ready. You know what I mean? Getting ready for the fight, getting ready for the weight cut, and looking to enjoy some fighting at home. You know what I mean? Fighting in my backyard, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're 20-1, and your first loss came in 2008. It was only your second pro fight ever. Do you think that kind of is beneficial in a way to kind of get that first L out of the way early on instead of trying to like preserve a perfect record?
My loss was in a split decision at a weight class that I shouldn't have been at. I learned the hard way about cutting weight. I fought at 150. I think if I was not so hard-headed, if I didn't have to learn the hard way all the time, I wouldn't have that one loss. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes and you move forward, and that's what I did. I learned from that mistake, and I moved forward.
Okay. Now, the last time we saw you, it was UFC 203. You picked up an impressive unanimous decision over the legend Uriah Faber. And then you were scheduled in January to compete against Bryan Caraway at UFC Fight Night 103. That fight ended up not happening. I think Caraway pulled out of that. What exactly was going on with that?
Caraway got hurt. They gave me other options, but you know, at the end of the day, I want to fight someone that's not going to help me propel forward. You know what I mean? If it was someone in the top 10 was a winning streak, doing really well, that's going to give me a title fight, yeah. They gave, you know, 2 people out there that I'm like, one guy was a win and lose some fight, the other guy he's coming off a loss. I'm like, who's a 25er? I'm like, it doesn't even make sense. I'm like, just, you know, give me someone that's either going to propel me forward or I'll just wait. So that's what happened. I waited, and they gave me Thomas Almeida. It's the second time. So I said, yeah, no problem. I'll fight Thomas. And hopefully after this fight, you know, from sitting with the matchmakers and then expressing himself, I go out there and put on a good finish. I could get a title shot.
Oh, wow. That would definitely be what's up. Now, I remember speaking with you before the Caraway fight was supposed to happen. And, I mean, you gave me this feeling that Caraway just didn't want that fight whatsoever. I mean, do you think it was like a legitimate injury, or you think it's just him ducking you and just not wanting a piece?
I think it was just ducking me. He wanted to fight Lineker, who Lineker didn't have a good wrestling background. He saw what TJ did to him, just took him down and ground and pounded the crap out of him. He didn't want to fight me. I heard. Well, I didn't go to the Fighters Summit that they had this year because I was in my training camp. But I heard a couple of my teammates were there. And I heard Caraway's just breakdancing, having fun, and it doesn't look like his shoulder hurts. So I'm like, I don't think he wanted to fight me. He just kind of, you know, screwed me over and pushed me to fight. I wish I would have been able to fight someone else because he pushed me back even more to fight someone. So it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, is there maybe a little bit of bad blood there? Because, I mean, he kind of put you on the shelf for a little bit.
I think he's a pussy. I don't really like him. I could care less about him. I just want, you know, make sure I propel him forward so I could get that title fight.
Okay, do you think that fight will ever happen, or is it in the rearview mirror? You're letting it go?
I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think there's a reason we should even fight, especially, you know, it's like third time in the make, and it's not, and it was already signed, the contract, all that. I don't think it's going to happen ever. I think he's going to duck me, and that's fine. There's a couple guys that have already done it. Before getting the UFC, I was going through like 6-7 opponents at a time, so I'm fine with it. I just, you know, I want to get this next fight in there, go do my thing, and then look to see what's next.
Okay, now the fight got canceled in January. What have you been doing to keep yourself kind of busy, so to speak?
I mean, I have a school on East 23rd Street, New York City, so I'm always teaching. I'm working with my students and helping them get better and get in shape and teaching kids how to defend themselves and build their confidence. So I'm always busy. I always have something to do. You know what I mean? So there's always another project. So whether it's my school, my family, or training, there's always something going on. I'm always training, and I'm always at my school teaching, and I'm always, doing stuff with my family. So there's always something going on. You know what I mean? Your life is not really, at least in my position, I never have a free moment.
Okay, hey, idle hands are the devil's workshop, or at least that's what they say. So
Yeah,
keeping busy is definitely a good thing. Now, back in December, we saw something crazy happen. Cody Garbrandt shocked the world and absolutely styled on Dominic Cruz. I mean, Dominic Cruz, the godfather of footwork, he was really showing his age. What'd you think of that fight? Did you expect that?
I think he was hurt, Cruz, and he just looked like he didn't have it. And as long as he can stop, because he's really good at putting his, MMA and hands together, his takedowns. As long as you can stop that, Cody looked great. Obviously, Cruz can't box, you know what I mean? And Cody's a good boxer. So it was an interesting fight. And it was interesting if you were going to see emotions take over or not. I think Cruz was trying to get in his head, but Cody kept his composure when he fought, so it didn't affect him at all. And it was really cool to watch that fight and see what happened, especially to my weight division.
Yeah, it was definitely. I didn't expect it. It was almost like a coming out party for Garbrandt's footwork. Like he was just doing the robot in there and like all sorts of crazy stuff, man. Definitely wild. But in front of you right now, you have the number 9 ranked Thomas Almeida. This dude is an absolute killer. 21-1. He's finished 20 of those 21 wins. What do you think of the stylistic matchup?
I think it's a good style matchup. I mean, he's a kickboxer. I could take it anywhere I wanted to, so I can mix up the game. And I'm looking forward to the fight. You know what I mean? He called me out. He said he wanted to fight me, and hopefully this will help him propel for being number 1 contender and get a title shot too as well. He's looking at. So I'm looking forward to it. I think he's good. I just don't think he's in my league. I think I get that title shot, but you have to take your steps before you can't just jump forward.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he's bringing anything to the table that you haven't already seen?
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, and is there any takeaways that you saw in his loss to Cody Garbrandt that may be the foundation for your game plan?
Yeah, I've seen some. I see some holes in his game, and obviously it's not something I want to talk about now. But I see some holes in his game. I think it's just going to be benefit to me, and I think at the end of the day, I'm going to walk out there with my hand raised. You know what I mean? I believe so. I've been preparing for it. I'm looking forward to the fight. He's got some holes in his games. I think when it comes to matching up and trying to fight someone like myself, it's kind of hard because there's so many aspects that people have seen with my jiu-jitsu and my wrestling, and I think it's going to be a very interesting fight, and I think he's just going to be shocked and overwhelmed that he's not going to be able to do much on me.
You think it's going to go the distance, or you think it's going to end early?
I think it's going to end early. I really do. I don't think he's going to be able to last at all.
Okay, now how's your training camp going? Tiger Schulman, of course. You're out there. You got Shane Burgos, who's on the rise, making waves at 145.
Yeah, it's going well. I mean, it's cool because all 3 of us on the card, my teammate Shane Burgos and my other teammate Lyman Good, we're all on the Long Island card. So it's going to be an awesome night for us and Team Tiger Showman's. And training camp's going great. We're all in shape, ready, and just waiting to get it all done. And I mean, time has flew. I mean, I can't believe it's already 2.5 weeks before the fight. So it really flew by, and it's crazy when you get there the week of the fight and how fast it goes, and all of a sudden now, you know what I mean? Now it's the fight night, and you go in there, fight, and then it's over. It happens so fast, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you definitely have to soak it up while you're in the moment as much as you can while still being focused, so to speak.
Is that? Yeah.
But man, so next for you, of course, if we look at the top 5, right? You have number 4 Lineker just lost to TJ. Number 3 Rafael Assunção just picked up a split decision over Marlon Moraes. The number 2 guy, TJ, is chasing DJ at 125, like a catchweighter. I don't know what they're doing. And then you have Dominic Cruz, who knows if he's even going to fight again. And then you got Cody Garbrandt as champion, who's having back issues. Like, Is Asuncao the only guy available after this?
I don't really know. You know what I mean, I really don't know what's going to happen after this. So it's going to be quite interesting what they propose to me after this fight. But I haven't, really thought about afterwards. I haven't just been thinking about what's coming up. I don't think it's sometimes some fighters do want to think what's after. Sometimes, myself, I just want to think what's coming up, focus on this, and then right after I'm done, then I'll get on the mic and call out whoever. I'm just focusing on this first fight first, and then we can go and see what's afterwards. But I don't know. It's kind of tight. It's kind of hard. There's the division, who's up there. I've sat down with a lot of people. I've sat down with matchmakers. The rankings really are just for the casual fan. They really don't mean anything. So when you sit down and you look at the rankings, it doesn't matter what you say. It just is who's going to get you to the top, who's going to be able to push you forward and get you a title shot.
Okay, and you said that they potentially will offer you a title shot with an impressive win. Have you ever thought about maybe, or if it's even possible, to drop down to 125 and face Mighty Mouse?
Yeah, if I cut my leg off, I could drop down to 125. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think him even moving up to 135 would be stupid for him. He's good, but he gives up a lot of weight. You know what I mean? For someone in that division, I think he's size-wise, it would be hard for him. I mean, he fought one of my teammates, and it was an interesting fight in WEC. My teammate didn't win, but it was very, very interesting to see what he did and how my teammate was able to kind of stop some of the stuff as well. So I think him at 135, I think Cruz said it too, would be kind of hard because he is giving up a lot of weight. TJ, and then we're talking about fighting, and TJ said no, but TJ seems like he's a small 135er, so 125 might be ideal for him eventually after he gets a shot at the title.
Yeah, it's who knows what's going to happen. We're in the age of the super fights where people are hopping divisions, and like you said, the rankings really don't mean anything. Because anyone can fight anyone for any reason at any time. So,
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you always see Swanson coming in and stuff. He fought Artem. Artem was not ranked. It didn't really help him at all. But he beat him up because he was talking smack, and I thought it was pretty cool in a way. I was like, that's cool. I wouldn't do it because God forbid something happens in MMA, you could get knocked out or something like that. I would want to lose to someone that I was was going to help me propel forward, but I lost, and it happens. Not someone that's below me, So everybody has their own mindset about it. I think when it comes down to it, it's just, what type of person you are and what you want to do in the division.
I dig it. Now, do you got any sponsors or any special people in your life that are kind of helping you out on your journey, supporting you or whatnot, that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, I always NutriBio supplements. Always help me stay ready, stay prepared with my body. And I also, Prover, I have is my PT guy, Frank, who's unbelievable. He's been taking care of me and helping me through, any injuries, battles, flexibility, anything in general. And then, of course, Tiger Fight Gear, who always, throwing gear my way, helping me prepare for the fight. I see a lot of people I've trained with, a lot of camps, and I go like, you need to get Tiger. This stuff, works, is great, and it's safe. And it really is. I look at other people. Like the other day, I got kicked in the elbow. It's like, hard. I'm like, I'm fine. He's like, oh, my shin is killing me. And I had Tiger on the other day, and I did the same thing the guy did. And I was like, oh, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, I got a lot of cushion here. I'm good. You know what I mean? So always them, and my family, my friends, Tiger Showman, his brother, my boxing coach, Ray Relez, like all those guys, everybody that's there, teammates, really help and support. And it's really cool when you surround yourself with people that are going to help benefit you and you benefit them as well. It just brings you closer together as like a family, and we really propel forward. And that's what's great about our team.
I dig it. Now, how can people follow you on your journey? What are your social media outlets? Your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can follow me is on Instagram at Jimmie Rivera, or Twitter, Jimmie Rivera 135. Those are the best things you guys can follow me at. Or every time I have an interview with you, always a pleasure being on the show and you talking about fighting and just kind of collaborating together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jimmie Rivera, once again, thank you so much for taking out the time. Set to take on the number 9 bantamweight in the world, Thomas Almeida. UFC on Fox 25 in your backyard, Long Island, New York, July 22nd. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, and I appreciate you taking time and interviewing me.
So there you have it. the UFC's number 5 ranked bantamweight, Jimmie Rivera, set to take on the number 9 ranked Thomas Almeida at UFC on Fox 25. That's going down in Long Island, New York on July 22nd. Go check that out. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mercado. If you like this interview, you can subscribe to my channel right here. Subscribe to Bloody Elbow's YouTube channel right there. Check out these interviews over here. Now go be a good person.